You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
I don't know whether to just sit back and let you talk for like an hour or so, or to have a conversation with you. Like, we haven't spoken since, what is it, a preview game?
Jets preview.
Yeah. I don't know where to start. Like, I feel like I just want to like just give you the floor and say, say what you got to say. Because for everyone who's watching on YouTube, the background's different. It's unfortunate that there's a Dolphins game on Sunday, because I kind of feel like this could be an episode of just like a catch up, just two guys chatting, talking. Mr. Charlie Touche, welcome back,
Bro. The scroll on the bottom of our YouTube it says the Dolphins are 5-7, bro. Like first of all, I almost feel like the last time I seen the scroll, it was like 1-7. So it just tells me that a lot of time has passed. At least that we're getting W's. It's a lot going on, man. And I don't even know where to start myself. But we'll start here though. I came to London. Didn't come away with the W in London. And it was a trip for the homies. LB was there. Bert was supposed to come. Reunited with Kadeem. Chop it up. We still didn't even put out the London footage yet. Like, we have all kind of pictures and videos from London. We still haven't put out yet. So how about I go to London, and I've said it on this podcast before. The last time I was sick was 6 years ago. Yo, I rarely get sick. But when I do get sick, I feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I feel it. And 6 years ago, I got pneumonia. I have asthma. And 6 years ago, I got pneumonia. It's always something with pneumonia involved when I'm sick because of my asthma. All right, cool, whatever. Shake it off. So we go to London, test negative for COVID before we even get on the plane to go to London. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to get on the plane, test negative. Cool. Let's do it. Get to London, quarantine, all the good stuff. You got to test negative on day 2. So there's a day 2 test. You got to test negative. Test negative. Let's go. Ain't nothing. There's a day 8 test. You got to test negative. You know what I'm saying? Since we're quarantined in London, we got to test negative to go to the game. Test negative. Again, let's go. Let's get it. Before the day 8 test, I had the sore throat. That's when I had the sore throat. Everybody remembers the episode. I was like, man, I got a sore throat. It was a false alarm. Me and LB were in the hotel, and I woke up with a sore throat. And I just told LB, bro, I got a sore throat. I haven't had this type of sore throat in years. Let's act as if worst case scenario. I went, got tested for COVID, unscheduled test for COVID at that time, because now it was looking like, yo, if you test positive in London, you're going to be stuck in London for 2 weeks, and work is going to continue. Life is going to continue. LB might be stuck because a close contact. He has to go to work. There's no telling what's going to happen. It could have been super bad. Lo and behold, I test negative. You know what I'm saying? So we test negative on the way to London, test negative day 2, test negative unscheduled test before the day 8 test, test negative on a day 8 test, go to the game, chop it up at the game, had a great time. We didn't put the video out yet. Everything's cool. Fly home. Remember, I missed that last episode. And Kadeem was like, "Oh, we're supposed to have an episode. Charlie don't miss episodes. Why did you tell us we're not going to record today?" And I didn't have a voice to record. Could have been a sore throat and yelling at the game and just talking to everybody. Because obviously, you remember when we were talking, I was talking loud enough to hold interviews and stuff. So, but then by the end of the game, I'm like, all right, I don't know if I'm just upset, and then I was yelling, and there's no voice. I had zero voice. I had to whisper to LB. Make it home, fly back to work. Day later, and I'm sick, and that was when I tested negative again. Kadeem Simmons holds down the fort. When I'm talking about hold down the fort, I don't play Call of Duty or any video games that where you got to have shooting partners and all that other good stuff. But I know what hold down the fort means. You know what I'm saying? Like Kadeem Simmons was real deal holding down the fort here on Go Time Dolphins. Everybody who rock with us on Go Time Dolphins, man, like we appreciate y'all. Kadeem, appreciate you. I appreciate you, and the fact that I was in and out for the past 2 months. I feel like Will Fuller. I can't get on the field. You feel me? So, hold up. Let me do this. So, I test negative, and that's when it's determined that I had pneumonia, and it was no surprise, no secret either. Like, all right, it's funny that I dodged the COVID bullet because I always get them when I'm sick. I get pneumonia. I had to test negative, get back to work. So cool. All in all, I want to say 5 to 6 negative COVID tests in 12 days, maybe 14. Can't remember, can't put the days on it. I go back to work after I recovered from pneumonia, which was another 9 days-ish. Go to work. For those who don't know, I know I probably never really disclose what I do for work, but I travel a lot. You guys know I travel a lot. There's 50 states in the United States. I wonder if Kadeem would have got that if I asked him. But there's 50 states in the United States. You wouldn't have got it?
I would have said 52.
See, that Alaska and Hawaii throw everybody off. You get off. You get off on that. But if you live in the United States, you got to know that. So I go back to work, and it's a cold environment where I work. All right. So I wear a ski mask at work. Literally wear a ski mask, and I'm bundled up. I got layers. I got big coat on. Okay, whatever. Cough goes away, and I'm returned to work. Maybe all in all 2 weeks and a half, and then I noticed I get the cough that was faint, like the little cough that I had is not faint no more. I'm like, yo, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this cough? Because this is not right. You know what I'm saying? I just overcame pneumonia 2.5 weeks ago, and I only have like a half a week of work left. So that night, I get the chills, bro. Now I work in the environment where it's either 36 degrees or we got welcome back to the show. You got Celsius and Fahrenheit, but look, how about this? I'm gonna give you an example. I work either in a refrigerator or a freezer. It's that simple. One is cold and one is very cold, right? So, and I'm getting chills at work, and I'm like, man, I'm never this cold at work. And I know you kind of know that chills aren't just because of temperature. You kind of know something's wrong with your body. You know that. So it was towards the end of work, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to the hospital. Excuse me. I go to the hospital. It is 2:00 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. And I go to the same hospital that determined that I had pneumonia 3 weeks earlier. And so they brought up all the x-rays and stuff. And they're like, what's going on? You was just here. I'm like, I know. Holla at me. What we got? I'm thinking they're going to tell me, well, you work in a cold environment and you had pneumonia and you went back to work too early. And that cold environment now is attacking and it came back stronger. And they take an x-ray and it's pneumonia again. So I had pneumonia again. So the doctor says, look, we don't think you should have pneumonia, even though you work in a cold environment. And we want to do some more tests. On everything I love, you know, I say this a lot. On everything I love, I hate needles. I hate them. Like, no, you're not sticking me with nothing. It's not happening, right? So she says, listen, you had pneumonia 3 weeks ago. Shouldn't have pneumonia again now, right? You were cleared to go back to work. You had 5 negative COVID tests in 12 days. We want to do a CAT scan. We want to do blood work. We want to do IV. We want to do all this stuff. Again, I want to just thank you, everybody who rocked with us, everybody who's shared, like, and subscribed to the podcast. I know we're gonna get to the Dolphins, and I'm pretty sure everybody was wondering, like, man, what's up, man? Like, Kadeem is cool, but it's better when there's a duo. You know what I'm saying? And I agree, Kadeem is cool, but it's better when it's both of us, Kadeem.
How straight it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I get it. So shout out to everybody who want to hear the story and wondering how can we. If you're wondering why we haven't talked about the Dolphins yet, you're not really a Go Time Dolphin fan. So, so we're waiting on the X-ray to come back, and I said, all right, I'm gonna do this blood work thing. Matter of fact, since I'm doing all this blood work, I need all the tests for everything under the sun, like all the STD tests, all the blood tests, you want the CAT scan of my chest. I need get everything right now. We're only doing this once. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the hospital the whole day from 2:00 in the morning. I'm in there just getting probed, right? And poked at. Which it was obviously the best thing to do. It was the right thing to do. You should not be in the hospital twice in 3 weeks. You never get sick. You had pneumonia twice in 3 weeks now. The right thing to do is you got to find out more stuff. So like, and you start getting hit with words that you really don't want to hear in real life. Like, yo, what if you have some type of cancerous thing going on that we need to find out right now? You know what I'm saying? What if there's some irregularities in your blood? We need to know a lot right now. And I agree. Like, you're right. Let's do it. So I stay there. Blood work comes back. Urine comes back. All this stuff comes back. Every single thing comes back hours later. You good. You have pneumonia. Swab for COVID again. Swab for the flu. I didn't know you get swabbed for the flu. I didn't know. Did you know you get swabbed for the flu?
Nope.
See what happens? Yeah, bro. So get swabbed for the flu, swab for COVID, all the good stuff. You go home, you have pneumonia again, you're going to be out 7 days. I call off work. And when you're at the level of what I do for work, you don't just call your boss. You have to call some pretty important people, some higher ups. And it took me a long time to get to where I am in the company that I work for. Very long time. I have a very good job and a pretty decorated title at work, right? And you don't ever want to go to anybody with a quote unquote excuse, right? So to have to tell these people, hey, I got pneumonia again, I'm about to miss work. I think everybody was cool with it, but just me personally, I wasn't cool with it. Like, because I don't take time off, I don't miss time. I just spent 2 weeks in London. Then I came home, I missed another week to pneumonia. Now I'm gonna miss my last week of work with pneumonia again. So personally, I feel like I let the team down. You know what I'm saying? Kadeem has to do the podcast again. Let the podcast team down. Let the fans down. Man, Charlie isn't here. You know what I'm saying? Sherrod, Steve, and Chris Adams, and 5-Yard Lee, who was in Miami, by the way. I was chopping it up with him. feel like I let a lot of people down. Wake up the next morning, I wonder how different it's going to be this time, like the pneumonia. And I remember, I don't know, probably a month prior where I'm like, man, this thing, I hate being sick, but I'll get through it. This time it hit a little different. I ain't going to lie to y'all. And I thought it was because it came back harder the second time. Like, oh, you thought I was a joke? Like, I'm here, right? Excuse me. So I'm like, all right. We had the show that day, I think. That was the last preview. That was the last show I was on, the Just preview. And I was a little under the weather, told everybody all the good stuff. That was the same day, ladies and gentlemen, that I got the phone call that I tested positive for COVID. Finally, COVID caught me. COVID caught me, y'all. Like, listen, I was bobbing and weaving and ducking and swinging. Like, yo, you cannot touch me, boy. Like, I'm out here. I'm flying to London. I'm living my best life. You know what I'm saying? Tested negative 6 times in 12 days. I'm out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, dodging bullets. I was Neo the Matrix, dodging COVID. I made it. There's so many sniper movies out there, like American Sniper and all those other good army movies and war movies. I'm gonna be real with y'all. If COVID was a sniper, and I know we got a lot of gamers out there and people who just know stuff like that, you know, army movies and war movies and stuff. If COVID was a sniper, to miss me so many times, I know it was angry, right? But since it finally caught me, it caught me from like 400 yards out. Like, there he goes. I got him in my sights, and he got me. Like, man down. I'm out. When I tell y'all, this is my first time having COVID. Everyone knows how serious COVID is. Unfortunately, a lot of us have lost some people to COVID. I've lost friends, some close friends that I don't even like calling friends. They're really like family. So I've lost some important people in my life because of COVID. Funerals, everyone can't even go because of COVID. It's the wildest thing. So for me to experience COVID now, and again, I want to appreciate everybody for tuning in to Go Time Dolphins, and waiting for me to come back and wanting to know what happened with Charlie Touche. And I'm sure everyone out there who is listening to this podcast has had an event or an encounter of some sort with either yourself or someone you know with COVID. And I got to tell y'all, it was one of the hardest things I ever went through in life. I almost checked out on y'all twice. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Like, I was gone. I was searching, like, to have asthma, and then I gotta believe to have pneumonia a couple weeks prior had a lot to do with it. Kadeem is vaccinated. I'm not. Cool. We could get into a vaccination, non-vaccination conversation another day, maybe on another platform. But I'm not against being vaccinated. I just know the knowns. I'd rather take my chances with the knowns of COVID than the unknowns of vaccination. That's all we're going there, right? But everybody knows, if you watch a decent sniper movie or played a decent video game, you want to verify your shots. You know what I'm saying? And since COVID is a person right now, it had to go verify. Let me go see if I got him. You know what I'm saying? So I know he went to the site to check for my body, right? But I wasn't there, Holmes. I was fighting, bro. Like, it was the worst experience, one of the worst experiences in life that I ever went through. And from what I understand, I was 3 years old before, and I had this asthma attack, and I was airlifted to the hospital. Helicopter came. My dad and was on the helicopter with me. They had to airlift me to the hospital, and I survived, right? Obviously, at 3 years old. Some other things happened in my life that I've survived. COVID has now happened, and I'm here, right? But I got to tell you, every single day, excuse me, every single day that I had COVID, it got worse. Every single day it got worse. Not only did it get worse every day, it was something new, brand new every day. Like, all right, first day, feel like you got a cold. Second day, this is a bad cold. Third day, hey, where's my oxygen? Like, why can I breathe right? You know what I'm saying? Next day, once the non-breathing kicked in, you weren't breathing. I still ain't got my breathing right. You know what I'm saying? But it was a holy, for the next 8 days. I'm not gonna be able. I'm struggling for air. I don't know where my next breath is coming from. On everything I love, that's what it felt like. Chills, all this stuff. I'm not gonna go into detail. I'm back. I made it. But I know COVID was looking for me because he had that kill shot, and he was like, "Yo, I got dude. Where is he?" And he couldn't find me because I made it. You clipped me, COVID. I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing I could think of, for real, was the people that I lost during COVID. How, man, I was kind of happy for them that they didn't have to keep going through COVID, and y'all checked out, and that's good because this thing was nothing nice. And I was kind of sad at the same time because I know there's other people out there that are not affiliated with me that have loved ones that lost loved ones, and their battle with COVID is something different. Everybody got a different battle and encounter with COVID. So there was some joy and there was some sadness, but at the end of the day, I made it through it. I could go on and on and on, man. This COVID story is for real, but it's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm Charlie Touche. I got Kadeem Simmons with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans, and we appreciate our fans here on Go Time Dolphins. We appreciate everybody who rocked with us, who checked in on me. It was a lot, man.
Like I said, I'm kind of annoyed that there's a Dolphins game to preview on Sunday because there's so much to go through. Like, again, for those who have been with us from day one, it's like what 136 episodes, I think it is. Me and Charlie always say, prior to the podcast, we spoke quite a bit. You know, just during the game, before the game, all that kind of stuff. We started the podcast. The conversations became less, a bit more sparse. It's kind of like, we'll have a conversation, save it for the pod, and we'll jump on the pod and all that kind of stuff. To say I've barely spoke to Charlie over the past few days is an understatement. I think after that preview we done, Charlie was like, by the way, about COVID. And we kind of said, we'll play it by ear. Maybe it's mild. It turns out that it wasn't. I think the review of that game, I messaged Charlie saying, "How you feeling?" John recording was like, "No." So I, quickly called up. I believe it was El Capitan, Chris Adams. Again, massive thank you to Chris for filling in and stuff like that. And then after that, I don't think I spoke to Charlie. I'm an honest person. I was kind of in that whole. I want to check in and see how you are, but I also know that you're not okay, and you're probably just sleeping and resting because both my younger sisters got caught COVID. And they basically just slept, relaxed, watched TV. But they both had mild symptoms. I know people that have had it really bad and moving. Nah, not doing that. So, yeah, when you messaged me saying that, you're feeling better, I was like, you know what? I'm not a religious person, but I was like, just thank God and stuff like that. And yeah, I know you said, sniper movies and stuff like that. For me, I was just thinking about, you was Bryce Petty and you got like pneumonia and COVID, Sue and Wake, and just bang in the middle. It was like you know, your immune system was Jesse Davis.
I didn't know where you was going with that.
Like, your immune system was like Jesse Davis, and then you got COVID come off the edge, and then your tour, bang, ribs out, done. You know, you're Joe Flacco, you know, trying to scramble for that first down, trying to dodge COVID. COVID to Kiko Alonso, bang, out. Like, that's where my mind was going.
Bro, those are all good analogies, bro. Like, I don't. Hey, welcome back, Dolphin fans. We got the Kiko Alonso analogy. Then we got the Cam Wake and Dominican Sue sandwich sack. Yeah, man, that's exactly. If I'm being honest, that's what it felt like, bro. Symptoms were definitely not mild. It was for real. And I want to say I appreciate you, because there's two type of people in the world: people who are gonna check in, and people who know I might do a little damage. I might do more damage checking in than I might do more hurt than good, harm than good checking in. And I appreciate both of y'all. I appreciate both of those type of people. The people who were concerned, like, man, yo, I haven't heard from you, and I know you're going through it, and I had to make sure you was good. And then the other person who was like, let him get his rest, because I know it's a fight. Sherrod Steve, I think I text Sherrod Steve once through COVID, and only thing this dude text was give him hell. That was it. And I already knew what time it was. Like, yo, I'm gonna be fighting out here anyway. And then, you know, I had LB and Bert called me, bro, and I couldn't breathe, bro. I couldn't breathe to talk. I couldn't even speak to these boys, because the breath I needed to breathe for myself was being used in a conversation. And it was like, nah, this not gonna work. Like, I'm not ready yet. You know what I'm saying? And it took days before I could actually put a sentence together without struggling breathing. And I don't know if you can really hear right now, but I'm still not breathing the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I still have to pause in certain places to complete sentences and stuff. Like, I still can't breathe right. So I do appreciate that, man. I appreciate the people like, yo, I'm not even gonna mess with them, and hopefully make it out on the other side. And I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I was close a couple times, and I remember thinking, like, if there's a commercial, I can't remember what company has this commercial, but there's an easy button at work. Like, oh, something gets hard at work, just hit the easy button, and then it was advertised whatever it was advertising. And I was thinking, I wonder how many people who had COVID, if they had an easy button to just check out, no, I'm not doing this, I'm out of here. How many people would hit this easy button to get up out of here? And I ain't gonna lie, Kadeem, and just in my own head, I thought it was, man, this is 50-50. Like 50% of the people would be like, nope, I'm not doing this, I'm out of here, and hit this easy button on everything. And that's not even an indictment. I don't even, like, yo, I get it. You feel me? So it was a lot. I made it. Almost checked out on y'all twice. I'm here. I know I got COVID. COVID gonna be back in the scope though, or I'm gonna be back in the COVID scope, and he's gonna be looking for me again. But I'm gonna be ready this time. So he didn't find the body, and I'm still fighting. He can't count me as a kill, straight up.
Listen, you need to, you know, in free agency in the draft, improve that immune system. You need to get them blockers, them Tristan Wirth, them Quentin Nelsons. These Jesse Davis and stuff's just not working no more, man.
Bro, I was straight, bro. I've been good my whole life. I've been good. And then all of a sudden, bro, I'm telling you, I feel like Will Fuller, bro. I can't get on the field, bro. I feel like I played 2 games this whole podcast season, bro.
See, Devontae Parker, because Fuller was out, came in, and been out again. Parker kind of comes back and then misses a game, and then comes back and misses 3 games very quickly. Chatting to Chris right now, he said, Charlie said, what's up? And I'm happy to hear that he's back on the radio doing his gift. That's from Chris Adams, live and direct.
Solid, dude. I appreciate you, Chris.
I tried to, I messaged saying, do you want to jump on? But he's going out to family with his, going to dinner with his family. But I said to him, we'll jump on a podcast, the three of us, soon. Same with Sherwan Steve, same with 5 Yard Lee, same with Josh Casco. Everyone just catch up and talk Dolphins.
It's been some pretty good tweets out there, man. When I had pneumonia, I was on Twitter more than ever. I've never been on Twitter that much in my life. When I had pneumonia, I was out there. But with this COVID thing, there was nothing but fighting for my life. As cliche as it might sound, that is all I did during COVID, right? But I seen some tweets when I turned the corner, and there's some good ones out there. I'm pulling up one right now. Did you see the Tua and Kyler Murray tweet?
I've got a take on that, and I think me and you're gonna have a very, very different take. Very different take. I don't want to compare Tua's first 16 games to Kyler's first 16 games, because I believe Kyler's were in his rookie season. I believe like that one season, whereas Tua's is over 2 seasons, where Tua sat the first was like 7 or 8 games. And then obviously he's had a full off season, with his receivers, all that kind of stuff. Then he gets injured, and again, for me, it goes back to what friend of the podcast, Miles Gaskin, said about how that season in the bleachers, basically, in the stands, watching and learning, all that kind of stuff. And I think for me, it's Tua's stats look good, and that's great. But I think after 16 games, and given the time span over those 16 games, we needed to see. Basically, it needs to be better than Kyler Murray's. If after 16 games, it's not as good as, some of these players and stuff like that, to me, it's a worry, because Tua had the benefit of sitting out sometimes not, through no fault of his own. Others, most of it through no fault of his own, be it injury, be it him being pulled and stuff like that. I know a lot of Dolphin fans were like, see, Tua's good, all that kind of stuff. And I didn't respond to it, because I was kind of like, let's not get too hyped about this, because in the nicest way possible, Tua's had that time to learn, to watch, to see the set make mistakes and all that kind of stuff.
Kyler Murray also didn't come off a hip injury, Joe. And you feel me?
Yeah, of course,
so it balances out, in my opinion. So, and I will not be naive or biased, Kyler Murray also has, I want to say, 500 more rushing yards than Tua. Cool, that's fair. I think Kyler Murray also had 6 rushing touchdowns, I think. And Tua had like 1 to 3, something like that. So I don't want to make it seem like, oh, look at Kyler Murray numbers, look at Tua's numbers, nothing like that. But there's another one, Kadeem. Well, I thought it's pretty good. It's right here. This season, Tua is 8th if you're a QBR dude. In total QBR, he's 8th. Completion percentage, he's 2nd in the NFL, not amongst second-year players, not amongst AFC East quarterbacks. Tua is 2nd in the league in completion percentage at 71. 3rd fastest in time to throw the ball in 2.53, which we need to be, because our line is not where it's at, right? And that's where Ryan Fitzpatrick and Ben Roethlisberger were last year, because we both had the worst O-lines in the league, so we had to get the ball out. 49% pass block rate, win rate for our O-line. Worse in the NFL. So somehow this dude is 2nd in completion percentage, 8th in QBR, and he has the worst O-line in the league, according to this stat. What you make of that, Kadeem?
It's what we've said before about how, Tua makes those around him better. If people don't think it translates to the wide receivers, it definitely translates, to the O-line. I believe that last game, Liam Eichenberg didn't give up a sack. I think, if Brissett was under center in that game, Liam Eichenberg had given up sacks. Because again, Brissett just wants to run and play backyard football and stuff like that. I know some people have looked at that stat and go, well, it's all dink and dunk, and you should be completing 5-yard passes and stuff like that. But again, it's like, what do you want to do? Just stand there and get hit over and over again because the routes downfield aren't developing. And don't get me wrong, there's a play from that last game where he kind of rolls out to his left, and you can see Jalen Waddle with his hand up, and Tua should find Waddle. It's a difficult throw, but it's not impossible. And yeah, he should find him. And if he finds him and does Tua things and puts the ball only where Waddle can get to it, he's gone. If not, it's a big game. I think instead he kind of dumps it down to might be Miles Gaskin or someone. And I'm sure that's one that he will want back. But again, he's averaging something like 7-8 yards through the year per pass. And if you do the math, 2 passes, that's a first down. Another 2 passes, that's a first down.
Mac Jones is averaging 4 yards. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And again, the people, there's this graph which kind of shows, like all the quarterbacks, where they are. One of them was like, you've got the line through the middle, and I don't understand them charts and graphs. I don't care about them charts and graphs. But it's basically, you've got Mac Jones's dot and then Tua's dot. They're in the exact same place. So, and people have rightfully pointed out, why is one a bust in Tua, but Mac Jones is like this, transcendent talent who's going to lead the league for God knows how long. So yeah, no, listen, you're seeing a lot of people kind of dial back and go, yeah, this Tua kid's pretty decent.
The man is 62 for 77. 88% completion percentage in the past 3 weeks.
And let's be honest, there was a really bad interception, which again he will want back.
Oh, no, he gets killed for it. And like, don't throw a pick, it's a wrap. Nothing else matters. You know what I'm saying? Like, can't go ahead.
No, again, but it's not like he's making bad throws. And the incompletions are like, dude, what were you thinking? Some of the incompletions are like, drops or just, okay, slightly better ball placement and you're fine. But again, I spoke to LB during that. It must be in the Jets game. I'm starting to lose track of all these games where, 2 or 3 interception and people are like, yeah, I'm done. And every single game going forward, unless Tua has a 5, me and LB were joking, a 5 touchdown through the air, 3 on the ground, 400 yards. He blocks for himself, he runs the ball, he catches the ball. Unless Tua has those kind of games, it's never going to be enough, ever. Tua has a game where he doesn't throw an interception, and he plays the number 1 pass defense in the league. And he says, "Who are you? Get out my face. I don't want to see you. Move." And everyone's just like, but it's only dink and dunk. Shut up. Get out of my face.
Listen, a lot of people ain't gonna like this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Deshaun Watson is gonna be an Eagle or a Panther next year. I've been saying that for over 12 months. 12 months. Over a whole calendar year, I've been saying that. Aaron Rodgers is the sand is sliding out the hourglass. And I don't know if Aaron Rodgers will waive a no trade clause to go to a Miami Dolphins franchise organization that cannot prove itself. Forget who we have on the team now. Forget what type of winning streak you have while Aaron Rodgers says, yeah, I'm going to Miami, or how good he likes Brian Flores and the coaching. You know what I'm saying? The franchise is not proven. We have not proven anything in the past 25 seasons. I'm just saying, as a Dolphin fan, I don't know if I'm Aaron Rodgers, if that's where I want to spend the last 5 years of my career, with a franchise who can't get it done, unless he has some type of ambition to say, yeah, I'm the best ever. I turned this franchise around. Aaron Rodgers is not coming to Miami. He's not going to waive his no trade clause to come to Miami. So that scratch Tua off the list. You got Aaron Rodgers, scratch him. You got Watson, scratch him. Because Tua's about to play good enough to where the Watson conversation is out of there. Not enough to get rid of the Rodgers conversation or the Russell Wilson conversation. Excuse me, Russell Wilson conversation, but the Watson conversation is about to be done. Rodgers going to trade his isn't going to waive his no trade clause to Miami, and now you have Russell Wilson. So what happens now? You have Russell Wilson, 33 years old, and you have Tua ascending. Russell Wilson, I don't want to say he's on a decline, but he's not Russell Wilson of 4 years ago. What do you do? Excuse me. Does Russell Wilson waive his no trade clause to go to a Miami who is improving? So for everyone saying, oh, yeah, the Watson talk ended, but it'll come back in the offseason, and then you're going to have the Rodgers talk, and then you're going to have the Russell Wilson talk. Hey, Kadeem, I'm not sure we're going to really have all that talk. Because if I'm one... No,
we will.
If I'm one of them boys, I don't want to play in Miami. I want to play somewhere where I think I could win today, right now, multiple championships in the next couple years. So I don't think there's going to be a quarterback controversy. And I'm saying that to say this. Y'all might as well get used to Tua because he has a couple games under his belt now. He's had the scrutiny now. He's had the world fall on his head already, which he shouldn't have. He had his team not protect him in the public. And now the man is like, you know what? It's me against the world, man. I'm going to just do this thing. Whether y'all going to get me O-line help or not. Whether y'all going to get me a running game or not. Whether y'all going to get me receivers or not. Kadeem, you was trying Mac Hollins before. Mac Hollins my dog now. It's a wrap. Like, he's my dog. That's what happens when you shoot in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you shooting in the gym. Mac Hollins is a whole receiver out here. Mac Hollins passed Preston Williams on the depth chart. Preston Williams, how you feel about that, bro? Since we speaking of Preston Williams about to get a 1-year prove-it deal. Like, yo, here goes $1 million, Preston Williams. Can you show us something? Because I don't think somebody else out there in the NFL is going to put money into you. So I'm just saying.
I think Williams had a really good. I think on Gaskin one. I think that's basically the highlight. But again, I think chatting to it might have been Chris Adams on one of the review shows, and I think it might have been Preston Williams only target.
I think it was the last episode.
No, because I done the last one on
right. The last right.
Yeah. I think Williams had one target that I can remember in the back of the end zone, and he got injured. It's like, dude, of course he did.
And he dropped it.
Yeah, it's like, dude, of course he did. Like, some of Preston Williams' career in one play is a drop in an injury. Like, 100%. And I think the guy who got back to Tua, all the people saying that he's missing his wide receiver 1 and 2, that's just not true. He might be missing his number 1 receiver in Devontae Parker, but there's no way he's missing his number 2 because it's not Will Fuller. Because he never played with Will Fuller. Will Fuller is a pipe dream, which, people want to see, but he's just not. And you're disrespecting Waddle 100%. Now, if I could do like the little Waddle thing, but like
the Waddle.
It's weird. Like on a bit of a tangent, I feel like there might be a new team nickname coming, but it's really difficult to kind of guess what it is because obviously we play in Miami. It's always sunny, but you kind of got, Jalen Waddle is like, just Penguin, the whole Waddle. You've got Javon Holland, who's nicknamed the Snowman because he's from Canada and he wears number 8. So I don't know. I kind of feel like there could be like a winter
theme.
Yeah. Because it wasn't also was it with Sue and Wake in this defense? Wasn't it named something like Black Ice?
I thought it was Tsunami and Earthquake.
Yeah, again, I I have a feeling that at some point there's kind of some black ice thing. But anyway, same way I nicknamed the
I
defense.
think that was another team, Black Ice, because or somebody. I remember
Yeah.
somebody being named Black Ice because you can't see it coming or something like that. I can't remember.
Something like but like, listen, I came with X Force. I'll think of something else for this. It's one of them things where, we're 45 minutes into this episode and we haven't even discussed the Giants yet. I also kind of feel like I can't be bothered. Like, obviously, we have to preview the Giants.
Yeah.
But what's there to say, really? Like, again, I think it more just comes down to when we started this, we wanted to have that feeling of just two guys, two fans chatting, two friends chatting and stuff like that. And where we just haven't spoken in a good, 10 days to 2 weeks, there's just so much to catch up on. We haven't even discussed, I guess, the slight improvement of this offense, which looks like it's finally got its act together. We haven't discussed, like, haven't even said, X YouTube videos, like X again Inception. Haven't even celebrated that with you.
X is getting traded.
I
X getting traded.
Unless we're getting the top 5 pick and we're getting Derek Stingley.
Nah, we're getting O lineman with X. But listen, we're about to get in the no huddle. But before we do, Kadeem alluded to how before we had this podcast, it's the second season of Go Time Dolphins. And before we had the first season of Go Time Dolphins, before we had Go Time Dolphins, we text every single day, me and Kadeem. Voice notes every single day, me and Kadeem. You know what I'm saying? Sending each other all kind of stuff. So it just made sense that we were the partnership of the Go Time Dolphins duo came together. So once we had the podcast, we didn't want to text each other every single day because we wanted to have fresh takes for the podcast. Hey, save it for the podcast. We'll talk about it on the podcast. And sometimes we still find ourselves saying something. I'll be like, hey, podcast. You know what I'm saying? So to not talk to somebody that you genuinely have love for and you care for, and then y'all have common interests, and to not be able to talk to that person for weeks, it's like, man, bro, like I want to talk to everybody right now, but I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't even muster up enough energy to put a real text together. So, yeah, man, it was tough. I appreciate you, though, man. We got our own platform now. We can talk about Dolphins wherever we want. And I know our jobs prevent that, too. But it is what it is. Look, man, let's get into No Huddle, bro.
No Huddle. No Huddle is coming out. So
I was wondering if I was going to see the headset, man.
Dude, coach mode, man.
Coach K.
I'm in full coach mode. Full coach mode. My only problem is that you might sometimes get what I say, I might do this a bit too often, but no, full coach mode. So listen, Giants on Sunday. The weather is 47 degrees Fahrenheit, 8 degrees Celsius. And then this injury report, not as bad as it was. Recording Thursday, no spoiler alert, peek behind the curtain. Philip Lindsay and Trill Williams did not participate. Robert Hunt, Brandon Jones, Jalen Phillips, Adam Shaheen were all limited. And then Javon Holland, Jalen Waddle, and Preston Williams were full participants. For the Giants, Trent Harris, Callum Gillespie, Adoree Jackson, John Ross, Caden Smith, Kadarius Toney all did not participate. And then Daniel Jones, Carl Rudolph, and Sterling Shepard were all limited. So this is a beat-up Giants team. I guess we'll see who makes it into Sunday's game.
Hey, so your playbook, I noticed it has Jacksonville on the back. Isn't that like the program from the Jacksonville Dolphin game?
It's the team sheet. So
so you can fold it up again, and flip it over. Yeah, now that works. It's Go Time Dolphins.
Also got
all right. I was like, why he got a Jacksonville thing over here. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to see the Dolphin side. There we go. So, nobody on the Giants fears me. And you know what? Before I even talk about the fantasy football side of No Huddle, I don't know if Danny Dimes really deserved the nickname Danny Dimes. I used to call him Danny No Dimes, but he's like inconsistent. So we're gonna call him Danny Nichols. I'm not starting Danny Nichols, even if he plays this week in fantasy football. I will start Saquon Barkley. You got to start Saquon if you got him. Kadarius Toney plays. You got to start Kadarius Toney. Don't start Kenny Galladay. He's grits. If Kenny Galladay decides to show up and the only game he shows up this season is against the Dolphins, I'm gonna be hot, bro. But on the Dolphins side of the ball, usual suspects. We're starting Tua. We're starting Gaskin. I get back to Gaskin, and we're starting Waddle, starting Gesicki. I know it hasn't been the best fantasy football season for me this year, man. Like I'm gonna jump back. I'm gonna get it back. So somebody else is either gonna win $300 or 300 pounds in the Go Time Dolphins fantasy football league that Kadeem has already opted out of for next season. But Myles Gaskin has some competition now. Philip Lindsay actually looks pretty good. And when we signed Philip Lindsay, I'm like, why would we sign another Philip Lindsay? Like we have Philip Lindsay's on the team. We have Duke Johnson, Philip Lindsay, Myles Gaskin, and Savon Ahmed, and they're all the same running back. I just think Gaskin should get more touches. Friend of the podcast, Myles Gaskin should get more touches, but it is what it is. Start the Dolphins defense. And this is a sad day.
Don't say it.
I'm done.
No.
Hey, listen, I'm done with Jason Sanders. Like, look, find a different kicker for your fantasy football team. If you what they call it? Dang. If you give me a second. I'm drawing a blank.
If you checked out, if you
No. If you stream kickers.
Oh.
I knew you wasn't ever gonna get it. You're not the fantasy guy. But if you stream kickers, stream a different kicker. Jason Sanders ain't it. And we might be looking for a different kicker here on Go Time Dolphins. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That's all I got, man.
Do you know at the end of the game where like the coach takes off his headset, presses the thing and passes it on to the guy and then runs into the middle of the field and does like a little handshake and all that kind of stuff?
Who this guy think he is?
You know what? So obviously we haven't spoken properly since the last, God knows when and stuff like that. But I thought of a new segment for our preview shows. So I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's basically if you could take one player from the opposing team, who would it be?
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of just a little, unless it's the Jets who are completely bond, but even then I might take one player. Just kind of like, I don't know if it was a bit interesting, a bit different. I think especially with the Giants as well, where it's you're kind of inclined to say Saquon Barkley, but given his injury history, you might not. Kadarius Toney, I think just after free agency, you probably would have been Kenny Golladay. Not gonna be Kenny Golladay. I think for me, I probably would go with Kadarius Toney. I think young, promising wide receiver, and he'll basically fulfill that Will Fuller role in terms of speed, but actually be on the field because he's healthy. So, yeah, for me, it's Kadarius Toney. How about you?
I mean, Andrew Thomas was an actual conversation piece, the tackle, and it's a good question, but for me, it's Andrew Thomas or Saquon Barkley. Nobody else on that team really does it for me. But
do you know what? I went through the team and I was like, I'm pretty sure they've got someone decent on the O-line. Honestly, I'm looking at it right now and I was like, yeah, Nate Solder, no. Matt Pitt, no. Like, Evan Ingram, no. I just completely missed Andrew Thomas. That's totally.
Yeah, he was in that same draft.
Yeah.
He was in
No what? So like, a part of me really wanted to take Caden Smith, not because he's a good player, but because Caden kind of sounds like Kadeem, and in a distant past, my last name was Smith, so I basically would have drafted myself or picked up myself. But yeah, my name changes the story for another day.
See what happens when I'm gone. This man gets time to just. So if you're gonna make a creative player on Madden, that's what you're gonna go with. Some type of distant past Kadeem Simmons.
Honestly, like it's more than like on 2K. On 2K, we've been trying to find a name. I'm normally going with like Kareem and there's like a Simmons, like, but it's obviously spelled different. So like, if you kind of like put your fingers to your ears and like just about and like, or do something with your ears, like fold them over, it kind of sound like saying Kadeem Smith. But really, Kadeem Smith, Kadeem Simmons. But really, it's Kareem Simmons. It's just horrible.
Too much time. I apologize, y'all. Kadeem had too much time on this. It's my fault. It's my fault. But look,
no, hold on. Sorry, you say about too much time. It's Thursday. I done a Charlie Touche work shift. So Wednesday night I done 6 p.m. till 2 a.m. and then I started Thursday morning at 9 a.m. and finished at 5 p.m. Like again, I genuinely meant to get the London episode out, that London video. Dude, when I say I'm just sleeping, I'm tired. Work is like I've had to book a week off work in from the 13th just to recharge my batteries and kind of go again. Like I'm working Christmas Day. I'm working, man. I'm working.
You know, I wanted to make a joke for, y'all got Christmas over there? Like, that's on par with Charlie Touche. Like, y'all got Christmas over there? No, but look, man. It's funny how Kadeem kind of knows and doesn't know the intro and the outro of the podcast at being a co-host. He's been here since day one. I think we've been saying the intro and outro since like day one. So it's crazy, but stay positive. Test negative, and trust me, test negative. You feel me? For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Fins up Friday already.
Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
I think at safe sounds better. I don't know. I just think like already it's cool, but it's like at safe. I kind of just feel like I don't know that London like slang to it.
Hey, do your thing, champ. When it's time for you to co-host, all right, safe. When it's time for me to co-host, I'll be back again. Yeah. Fins up Friday though. What's the word?
I feel like I know we could talk about the possibility of, was it Godsey leaving the Dolphins to take a college job, but I think he declined. He's going to stay with the Dolphins. I asked Chris Adams this, and I'll ask you this because this was a legit conversation on Dolphins Twitter. Would you hire Chris Garrett? That's his name? Jason Garrett. Would you hire Jason Garrett as the next Miami Dolphins offensive coordinator?
Here's the thing. Hold up. Back to this Gossy thing. Was it a head coaching job in college?
I think so. Let me double check. Basically, one of the two got offered
a head coaching position.
Allegedly got offered a job.
All right, you check on it, and I'll answer if I want Jason Garrett or not. See if it.
But it was a coordinator job.
No. I'm not going from a NFL coordinator to a college coordinator when they already crucified me in the NFL as a coordinator. That's going backwards. So it would not be wise for them to take that job. Now, if someone got a head coaching position, yo, I would not fault nobody for taking a head coaching position in college, even if you are an NFL coach. I could understand wanting to stay in the circles, but nah, not for a coordinator position. Am I interested in Jason Garrett as the Miami Dolphins offensive coordinator? Is what I'm thinking you saying, right?
Yeah.
I thought about it. I haven't thought about it enough because I have other things on my mind right now than Jason Garrett and what his next job should be. So I haven't thought about it enough. But the initial thoughts weren't bad. They weren't, oh my goodness, we're not going to Jason Garrett. You know what I'm saying? But when you bring in someone who's not in your circle, you don't just bring in Jason Garrett to be your OC. What happens is if you bring in Jason Garrett, you bring in Jason Garrett, you bring in his people because his people has to translate the offense to the offense. He's probably going to have his own quarterback coach. Charlie Fry is going to be changed. You know what I'm saying? You don't just bring in the OC and say, hey, you're the new OC. You bring in like 8 guys, maybe not 8, but you bring in like a bunch of people with you. So now, if you guys remember the Cleveland Browns Hard Knocks, where drawing a bunch of blanks today, but what was the head coach name? Hugh, is it Hugh
Jackson.
Douglas? Hugh Jackson. Hugh Douglas was a linebacker. Hugh Jackson had too many heads, too many chefs in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Hugh Jackson was the head coach. He's also offensive coordinator, offensive mind. And then they brought in Todd Haley, who I like, by the way. I thought I said this before. I would go get Todd Haley. You know what I'm saying? I like Todd Haley as an OC. But what I don't like about Todd Haley is what was displayed on Hard Knocks, which was him undermining the head coach in front of everyone and on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're going to have Todd Haley say his Todd Haley piece because he's trying to get a head coaching job. What happens when the world comes down on Brian Flores like it did this year, and now Todd Haley's like, oh, I'm going to position myself to be the head coach here. And that's what happened in Cleveland. Also, what happened with Greg Jackson? Jackson ended up getting that job. So when you bring in someone like a Jason Garrett who has no ties to anyone in Miami, Chan Gailey didn't. He was off retired. You know, he's not a threat to the head coaching spot. So when you bring in someone like a Jason Garrett who's not family, you know what I'm saying? You're not family. You bring in somebody like a Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett brings in a bunch of people with him to translate the offense to the coaches and the players. You open yourself up to what do some of these coaching meetings look like? You know what I'm saying? When it hits the fan, is Jason Garrett going to stay in his lane, or is Jason Garrett going to say, "Bro, worry about your defense. I got my offense." You know what I'm saying? Like, can you imagine the offense fixes, like, tightens up, and then where, I don't know, whatever, we'll just say 11-6 going into the playoffs next season with Jason Garrett as the OC, and it's because of the offense and not the defense. And then Jason Garrett has 2 bad games and says, "Bro, my offense is performing way better than your defense," in the coaching meeting. He's not going to say it, but he's an outsider. You don't know what you get from outsiders. And that's why we can have a whole podcast on where do you find the OC? Where there's no OC tree that you just say, I'm gonna go get this OC. He's the next hot thing. And then the next hot thing becomes a head coach 2 seasons in. So what do? Oh, I'm gonna go get the old head. Oh, has the game passed him? He's an older head, he's an older OC. Why should we go this route? Oh, I'm gonna get the new OC that this has never been OC before. We're gonna give somebody a chance. Oh, he was a new OC. He's never did this before. Why did you trust him? So what do? Do you go get the hot OC from college, or who's like the Jason Garrett's? What do? There's no answer to this. And that goes on the defense side of the ball too. And that's why there's so much turnover in the coordinator positions, but I'm not sure about Jason Garrett.
Yeah, I'm not a Jason Garrett guy. Mr. Clap a lot. Like I don't need that in my life, to be honest. Yeah, like dude, what are you doing? Like just stop. But I remember vividly, and I do mean vividly, having a conversation when I was living at my mum's house between me and you, sending like 4 5 minute voice notes about offensive coordinator. And I think it was when Changeli got the job and was talking about how, the ideal plan would to be you bring in Changeli, but you've got some staff underneath him who will run kind of a similar system. And when Changeli goes in that 1 or 2 years, that person steps in. That way there's a continuation. Because again, we've said it before, and I'm sure we'll do a whole podcast on this, but the last thing you want to be doing, and I understand it, is you don't want to bring in a Joe Brady, for instance. You bring in the next Joe Brady next year, and Tua gets 1, maybe 2 years out of him, and then he's gone because he's got a head coaching job. So
We
you bring
already
in
doing that.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you're doing it because it's debatable, but how efficient the offense is, and to give them credit, the offense over the past few weeks has looked a lot better. Granted, people say, well, it's against the Jets, it's against the Panthers, it's against the Texans, all that kind of stuff. Listen, again, don't do this because like I said, the Panthers were the best pass defense in the league. We made them look rubbish. It's to me, there's a lot more positive things. We're seeing a lot more motion, but like Tua's throwing to a bunch of guys. Like per game, it's like 8, 9, 10 receivers, running backs. If you're not throwing to Philip Lindsay, it's Avon
4 tight ends.
Yeah, everyone's eating right now, and again, there's another podcast to do about you're feeding all these people, but you're not feeding Big Mike enough. But again, it's right now, if it's working, don't go away from it. And it's something you said a few episodes ago. When you've got a Big Mike on your team and guys are just going to blank him and stuff like that, it frees up for everyone else. Over the next few weeks, guys are going to start blanketing, Jalen Waddle. Now you can see, Matt Collins go off. Mike going to be open, all that kind of stuff. So, I'm glad you're back because it means there's so much to discuss. And the scary thing is we're so close to the off season, so close. I'll say this on there. There might be a time when you've got to go by yourself, or you've got to, bring in someone else because I need to fix this laptop, and I'm gonna be out of commission for like a week or two. But again, I'm playing. My laptop's hurt. My laptop's on the injury report every single week, but we're powering through. And that surgery, I'm gonna get a surgery in the off season. Come back stronger, come back faster. But yeah, this could be a 2-hour episode given all the stuff we've got to discuss and stuff like that. But I'm also, for my own sanity, it's 1 a.m. It's 1 a.m. in the morning right now. We spent the first half an hour talking about, your return and stuff like that. I'm sure the fans are just like, listen, please stop talking. I've heard enough of that London accent for the past few weeks. I'll stop now.
No, man, we good. We gonna get this W. Fins up Friday. We gonna see you on the review. I'm here, man. I finally catch a I ain't even gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna see. Not gonna spoil it. Look, man, I'm back, man. Feel better than ever. I appreciate everybody's support. I appreciate you, Kadeem. I love this, man. For real, for real. We out.